like
you consume more souls in a bowl of like prawns. If you have a bowl of prawns, you're eating like 20 souls at once. Whereas if you have a steak, you've only had like a sort of whatever, like a 16th of a soul. And like a week of like a month of eating steaks, only then have you eaten one whole cow. And you've been plummeting through those prawns.
Yeah, that's so true. But
so that goes into your soul idea. There has to be ascensions of soul in order for that to be
exactly,
legitimate.
because not all souls can be equal, right?
Yeah. Well, not all souls can be equal. Well, I don't know. They can be. I don't see why they wouldn't be.
Why would they be? Rather, why would they not be? But I can't imagine all souls. Because you're basing your argument on the size of a soul.
No. No, so that's the argument. The pescatarians could be...
killing more souls.
No, could be basing their argument on the size of a soul. Mine's not saying the size of the... Mine's talking about the number of souls. Like, prawns probably have smaller souls than cows. Yeah, maybe, possibly.
Very true. But it depends on the location of the soul as well.
Yeah, behind the ear, I think.
But is that where yours is?
Yeah.
Behind the ear?
Yeah, behind the ear, so right? I can check, like, regularly that it's there.
Idiot. Wait, but what does this have to do with indecisiveness? Oh, because we're indecisive about whether there's a soul or not.
Yeah.
We're indecisive about everything.
I mean, the whole podcast are about indecision.
No, I feel like we're pretty decisive in that we are doing a podcast.
So I feel like from like an existential point of view, when we're talking about truth or an idea in reality, I think the only authentic way to be is to live in a sort of perpetual state of doubt, in which we're open to the infinite number of possibilities that are out there. And what I love, what like drew me to philosophy more than anything else, is this idea that anything is possible and nothing can be like on any sort of, really solid ground rejected. Like it is possible that there's a parallel reality in which you are like sniffing a tuna salad, like cocaine, while I'm painting a zebra behind you.
But then that means that's also possible in this reality.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably what's going to happen this Sunday.
Yeah, exactly.
But all these, I mean, that's really not a very inconceivable. That was a very stupid example because it's not that inconceivable.
No, that's true, but a perpetual state of doubt, while in some ways it's a very good thing, it's obviously extending too much into our life.
Yeah, so this is kind of my problem.
Right? Like, we can't achieve anything at the moment.
Yeah. So I really struggle with this idea because I think sometimes it's just like you just commit to an idea, and the happiest people are they just find something, they commit to them, whether it's romantically, whether it's like in a job or something, and you just like journey towards that thing. And so...
But then you need to protect yourself from not falling outside of that circle, right? You only believe in one thing.
Yeah, so this is the sort of thing, conflating the sort of everyday material with the sort of epistemological or the existential.
Yeah.
And I think I struggle because I feel like people who kind of find a religion and stick to it and like are really committed to it, they gain so much joy and
they gain so much joy from it, right?
Yeah, and the faith, really like incredibly strong faith, which I think is amazing, and I sort of wish I had, right? Yeah, kind of admire and envy it. But it's so easy with that to fall into this like dogmatic state as well.
Yeah, where you don't think of anything else.
Yeah, and reject all other ideas. And also consider the reality that you've chosen to be superior to the other.
But then they're living life in the finite, right? Like you said, right?
Yeah, exactly. So you've got to moderate between the two.
But then, so the ideal would be to have some sort of belief in spirituality, but in not one religion.
No, I think
is that a model? Would that be the middle ground?
No, I mean, I guess you can argue and it'll be different for everybody, but I think you can be part of a religion, committed to an idea,
but not live in a state of rejection,
have an open-mindedness.
Right? Yeah,
that sort of is.
Yeah, but isn't that the issue with religion? Like a lot of times when you get too deep into it, you have to be narrow-minded. It doesn't encourage an open-mindedness.
I don't think so. I think if you really get deep into a lot of religions, like genuinely deep into a lot of religions, I think it facilitates that. It opens up to an open-mindedness.
Yeah.
And you understand that from a sort of spiritual...
maybe spiritually does, but maybe not culturally.
Yeah. Okay. But I don't think that's like... so I guess I wouldn't call that like getting deeper into religion. That's getting maybe... I don't know. In a sense, lost in a religion. Like...
Yeah, maybe actually, because then the lines become skewed between like religion and culture.
Yeah. But I think there's also a merit. Like, we are so hyper-globalized
Yeah, that's
at the
true.
minute. And do we really need to, like, we were born in a certain place. Do we really need to be like kind of moving around and doing these sort of things?
So you're saying that's adding to our infinite, right? In that we can travel anywhere, we can fly anywhere.
Yeah, but yeah, that, and also like we have so much
Even little things like
exposure to different faiths.
Yeah. And exposure to different people as well.
Yeah.
Right?
And I think we say this is like a great thing, and we love living in London because of the diversity and the richness of it. But it's also like, you know, if you just grew up in a Jewish community and you do the Jewish rituals and you stick to that sort of thing, and there's probably some quite good benefits in just like why do you need to meet anyone else?
No, I completely agree. I know, but we've gone the other way, haven't we? In London, it's almost too easy to meet people. In that, so many people don't have lifelong friends anymore, right? Because they're always looking for the next thing. Well, so many relationships fail because everyone's looking for the next person.
Yeah, and we're always like, when we're in a relationship, we're like, yeah, but she had bigger tits.
Yeah, but she was funnier, right?
Yeah, and I also think it like doesn't give us like it doesn't give us the tolerance and the space to like begin to deal with and even love people's imperfections.
No, I completely agree. Like, exactly, we don't tolerate any imperfections anymore.
Yeah, because we know there's somebody else.
Because we know there's someone potentially better.
But there's nobody perfect out there.
I don't think that's true. I'm perfect. You're perfect.
No. You're a complete insane mess.
What?
And I'm a complete insane mess. But together we make a perfect podcast.
No, that's very true. So what's the solution to becoming more decisive? Leaving London? But what about our listeners?
How would we make a decision like that?
Yeah, that's fair. Flip a coin.
Flip a coin.
But where would we go? Birmingham?
Yeah, maybe that's the answer. Maybe Birmingham's just the answer.
Because it's in the middle.
I think Kierkegaard said something about Birmingham. No.
And Gibran. They all said something about Birmingham.
Everybody's mentioned Birmingham once or twice.
So this has been a podcast about indecisiveness, where we've not talked.
When we've not talked about... we've not talked.
We've not talked... No, we've talked quite a lot about. I feel like we've made some real breakthroughs here.
In terms of what?
In terms of, I think I'll be more decisive.
Okay, so what are we going to move to Birmingham?
We're going to move to... I don't know if we should move to Birmingham then. It's a bit drastic. Drastic.
So like Bath?
Why don't we just change the location of our bed so it's facing south?
Yeah? What would that do?
What won't it do?
Yeah, things, it'll like create a better cheat. Maybe, I feel like it'll have like positive effect on our erections. No? Because erections always point to the south, no?
Erections always point to the south.
Well, because if you have to pray, you pray towards the east, right?
But I pray towards the west.
Oh, you pray towards the west.
You pray towards the east?
Exactly. So the south is the moderate, the place between the east and the west.
So is the north.
And no, yeah, but it's so plebeian to pray to like to do things to the north. North is so like, it's like the starting point of things. It's just so like...
Yeah, no, it's so boring. Everyone always walks
boring.
north. Yeah, that's boring. Yeah, that's
you look at a compass, you're always looking for north. Like,
yeah.
Nonsense.
Yeah, that's pointless.
I want to go to anti-north.
Yeah, exactly. To south.
So.
That's quite a good idea to end on.
Yeah?
Yeah, so maybe that's the solution to decisiveness.
Walk south to Birmingham.
Yeah, exactly. And also, next time we have a decision to make, just think, what would be the anti-north thing to do?
What would be the anti-north thing to do?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I really feel like we're going to end up under some bridge.
Eating Burger King.
Eating Burger... Well, no, is Burger King the anti-north of McDonald's?
Yeah, for sure, right? Because we'd normally go for McDonald's. But if we were being different,
I don't know if Burger King's the opposite of McDonald's.
What's the opposite of McDonald's?
I don't know. Is it like it's the opposite of McDonald's? Is it like the Ivy, or is it Marks and Spencer's?
Oh, that's true, but they're still chains.
Or is it some like noodle bar in
No, I like that.
Meow?
I like that.
From that record, that Thai record I got you in what's it? Udon. Yeah.
No, udon's the food.
Yeah, but it's also a place.
Oh yeah, udon from udon.
Udon.
Yeah. Oh, I do like that record. Also, it's been. We need to find a point to end on.
Yeah. So, but how are we going to decide? We're never going to decide when to finish this podcast. So we're just going to end up going on endlessly.
But that's what we've been doing.
Yeah, but I think this is the main problem: is that you just like time becomes this like. You just
Yeah,
postpone
we
like
don't
a
even delete the
decision.
time,
We
right?
postpone a decision constantly because we're like,
do
well,
we
we
end
can
this
always
podcast?
make a decision. But not making a decision is also making a decision. It's just a passive form of making a decision. And I think this is where we get lured into the sort of the devil of commercial capitalistic doubt.